Central Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
We're live on KMOX, 1120 AM, 98.7 FM. We're on Twitter, which is now known as X, but I still call it Twitter. We're on Instagram, I do believe. We're on a variety of social media platforms, but we're glad you're tuning in on the radio. We want you to settle in and enjoy an hour and 40 minutes as we cut things short at 11:40 and then get to an 11:45 pregame, or a little earlier game today, 12:40 first pitch for the Cardinals and the New York Mets. The Cardinals are in position to sweep the Mets. They beat them yesterday. They beat them the day before. And the Cardinals are showing some strength here in the area of pitching. As we have noted, the Cardinals' strength so far this season, and it's been hard to find some things when they were struggling, but now that they start to win back-to-back series, you can see their pitching is the real deal. In particular, their bullpen. And think about this. They haven't even pitched Keenan Middleton yet. This bullpen is something else. The Cardinals have Andrew Kittredge, JoJo Romero, and Ryan Helsley in that bullpen. And yesterday they flexed a little bit at Citi Field, starting with Romero following Sonny Gray. We'll get to Gray in just a minute, but Romero with one inning scoreless outing in which he strikes out two and drops his ERA to 1.23. I mean, Romero faced three batters, folks. He went in there and faced three batters. He threw 12 pitches, 7 were strikes. See you later. I'm done for the day. I'll hand it off to Andrew Kittredge. Kittredge comes in with one inning. He allows a hit. That's it. He strikes out one. Kittredge faced 4 batters. Kittredge threw 11 pitches, 9 were strikes. That dude is something. I mean, the Cardinals, it's early to say this, but the Cardinals look like they won that trade. Richie Palacios to the Rays for Andrew Kittredge. Why would they give up Andrew Kittredge? This guy is money. Are you kidding me? 0.75 ERA. He is really something. And then Ryan Helsley, who, sure, he made things a little dramatic at the end of the game. It was bases loaded, but Helsley has 9 saves. He walked one. That's part of the problem. But he went an inning of scoreless ball, dropped his ERA to 1.80, allowed 2 hits, but he strikes out a batter and he gets the pop-up to end the game. Helsley faced 6 batters. Helsley threw a total of 24 pitches, 18 were strikes. My point is the Cardinals relievers, Romero, Kittredge, Helsley, the 1-2-3 punch, we got to give them a nickname, something cool to close out games, but you know, they're throwing strikes. They're pumping strikes in there. Romero and Kittredge have 10 holds apiece. That is ridiculous. Helsley has 9 saves. The Cardinals have won 13 games. And the Cardinals bullpen is absolutely powering this team right now, along with a stable starting rotation. Sonny Gray is absolutely an ace. Anybody who didn't think that, and I don't know who that was, but anybody who didn't think that he was an ace, he goes out there and flat deals yesterday. Yes, he had 4 runs allowed, but only 1 was earned because of an error by Nolan Arenado. Things kind of unraveled on him a little bit in that 4-run 5th inning by the Mets. Pete Alonso, who's going to hit any pitch in the vicinity out of the park if he gets a hold of it, got one that was a couple of inches out of the zone on the corner, the outside corner, and he pounded it over the right field wall because Alonso's getting smarter. I mean, maybe the younger Alonso might have tried to pull that and it's an out. Instead, he goes the other way, knowing he's strong enough, and he hits that ball over the wall for his 200th career home run. And all Gray does is just, adjust what he does, comes back in the 6th inning and posts a 0. And that's what aces do. If things go against them, they just buckle up and go back out there. And Sonny Gray is the real deal. Gray struck out 9 batters yesterday. And in its 6 innings, he allowed that 1 earned run, 4 total, but just 4 hits. He walked 3. He struck out 9. Sonny Gray has 32 strikeouts this season. 32 strikeouts in 23 and a third innings, and continues to look spectacular for this team. He is, with 32 strikeouts, posting just 4 walks on the season. Opponents are hitting .214 against him. He has a whip, walks, and hits per innings pitch of .94. That's Cy Young caliber stuff. He's 3-1 with a 1.16 ERA. He finished second in the Cy Young voting last year, runner-up to Garrett Cole with the Twins. Goes to free agency. Cardinals pick him up 3 years, $75 million. That's looking like a heck of a deal, too. So the Cardinals get Gray, they get Kittredge, they have Romero and Helsley lined up, and they also have Keenan Middleton, who eventually is going to get healthy. And we'll ask Ollie Marmol and John Mozeliak about him here on the show. The New York Mets, we'll see what they've got. A lot of empty seats at Citi Field yesterday. Well, they write a front page story about that above the fold in New York. I don't know. Well, we have a heck of a show for you. We have Ollie Marmol, the Cardinals manager, at 10:15. We have Chris May, the SLU athletic director, at 10:30. We have at 10:45 Chris Blair, Worldwide Technology Raceway. They're getting excited over there. It's time to race. NASCAR race June 1st and 2nd with the big cup race on the 2nd. They also had a big announcement this week, 5-year naming rights extension with Worldwide Technology. 11:15, big announcement for Mizzou. Laird Veach, the athletic director at the University of Missouri. He will join us live at 11:15 this morning, Sports on a Sunday morning. 11:30, John Mozeliak. He is going to jump in as well, live as the Cardinals get ready to take on the Mets. Big show for you. We're excited to bring it to you. We will be right back. This is Sports on a Sunday morning with Ollie Marmol, sponsored by Gray Bar.
There's a new addition to the Audiology Center. Charlie Brennan here, along with Dr. Colleen Bosler.
We are so excited to be welcoming Dr. Adam Voss to the Audiology Center. He went to SLU High School, and then he went on to University of Missouri in Columbia, where he earned his undergraduate degree, and then Washington University School of Medicine, where he earned his doctorate in audiology. He's been practicing as a clinical audiologist for the last 7 years, and we look forward to bringing him on to the Audiology Center. Outside of audiology, he enjoys spending time with his wife and 2 daughters, and he loves golfing, playing music, or cycling. Dr. Voss is an expert in hearing aid technology, custom hearing protection, and oral rehabilitation.
And so now it's Dr. Colleen Bosler, Dr. Gilbert Fahn, and Dr. Adam Voss at the Audiology Center. 636-441-7470 in Florissant, St. Peters, and Creve Coeur, and the Audiology Center, STL.com.
Join us at Odyssey as we all do our one thing, together millions of things for our planet. Earth Day has passed, but you don't need a holiday to make an impact. Check your car's trunk and remove heavy items to improve gas mileage. Stock up on reusable bags to use at the grocery store, always keeping a few in your car. And be sure that you are recycling bottles, cans, and papers. The simplest things are often the most effective. When we each share our one thing, it becomes 100 things, 1,000 things, 1,000,000 things for our planet. What's your one thing?
Bo Matthews for Reinhold Electric. When you need electrical services or repairs, call on Reinhold Electric, whether it's residential, commercial, or industrial. And with spring storms in the Midwest, it can be very dangerous and you have to have your power. Get an inline generator. Reinhold Electric can get that for you and get it hooked up so you'll be ready, because when the power goes out, your power can stay on. Call 314-631-1158. That's 314-631-1158. Online at ReinholdElectric.com. Tell them Bo sent you.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org. Or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
Schedule your free tree inspection from Gamma Tree Experts now. I'm Tim Gamma. Our certified arborist and horticulturist are ready to meet you in preparation of the coming season. Winter is always hard on a lot of trees here in St. Louis. If you have a tree that you're really concerned about, let us come take a look at it for free. I'm Tim Gamma. Give me a call at 725-6159. That's 314-725-6159. Your trees deserve the best care from Gamma Tree Experts.
If you need a new garage door, this could be your lucky day. Entries are now open for the $5,000 sweepstakes at Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. The winner will be chosen at random to receive $5,000 towards new garage doors, openers, or front entry doors of their choice. Deadline to enter is the end of the month to win the $5,000 sweepstakes with Overhead Door Company of St. Louis. Enter now at overheaddoorsstlouis.com. You can't win if you don't enter at overheaddoorsstlouis.com.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. Come see our waterfront in Wild Horse Village in the new downtown Chesterfield. You have to see it to believe it, and then you will understand why it is the fastest selling luxury community in all of St. Louis. Our unique modern designs are like nothing St. Louis has seen. Only a handful of home sites remain. Experience the ultimate lifestyle at the waterfront. Visit McKelveyHomes.com today. Hurry before you miss this opportunity.
Now the Manager's Chat, presented by Siteman Cancer Center. Siteman Cancer Center, national leaders in cancer care.
The pitch. He swings and hits a high fly ball. And under it is Wynn. Here comes Ciani. Ciani and Wynn get together, and Wynn makes the catch and flips the ball to Ciani for a Redbird winner. Oh, a big pitch, and Lindor pops out in center field to end the ball game. Wow. The Cardinals have won this series, winning yesterday 4-2, and they take this one today 7-4.
The sweet sound of victory. John Rooney with the call on KMOX. We welcome in Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol. Always great to chat with him. Good morning, Ollie.
Good morning. I actually had Rooney across the way from me. I was talking to him right now.
Awesome. I love that. He is the voice of the Cardinals for a reason. That is a tremendous call and a tremendous win. A lot of things going on in that game. And take me to that very moment. Ryan Helsley bearing down on Francisco Lindor, who had kind of a tough day with Sonny Gray. And in the end, he pops up to Hells. What did you see there?
Yeah. Game on the line there. Helsley has had he's done a really nice job of just taking the ball and being available for us, and makes a pitch on Lindor, gets the pop up, and Mason kind of twirls around. I got blocked by the umpire, so I couldn't see if he made the play or not, but I'm glad he did. That game was over, and another win for us, but it was a really good game, man. You start to look at what Kittredge and JoJo and Helsley have done over this week, and it's been pretty impressive, and then some really big swings as well. I'm sure we'll get into, but yeah, solid game yesterday.
Absolutely. Yeah. Let's go backwards. So that bullpen, Romero, Kittredge, Helsley, that 1-2-3 punch, I got to come up with a nickname for him. But then when Keenan Middleton joins, you got even more firepower. But let's talk about those three guys in particular, the confidence of handing the ball off to that chain of events there, 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, they want the ball when the game's on the line, and it starts in the seventh inning based on lane, righty, lefty. And it doesn't matter. Kittredge has done well against both. JoJo's done well against both, and they've created a really nice identity in that pen. That once you hand the ball, that game's over. And we trust those other guys, and we'll see some of them today. And Fernandez has done a nice job, and Libby and Gio, and you go down that list. But we have a lead after 6, and it's pretty tough.
Absolutely. And you had a lead after 6, and you had something happen in the 5th where a lot of things happen, an error and then a home run by Alonso. But that Sonny Gray, that's what an ace does, isn't it? I mean, I love all the zeros, but I really respect a guy who comes back and posts a 0 after giving up a few runs. Of course, they were unearned.
That's the difference, right? Like being able to, yes, that happens, and you go back out and do what he did and give us that last inning. That's an important inning, because that's the inning where the game could get flipped, and it allows us to go to our 3 guys and then that game. That's a pro.
What's he like to work with, Sonny? I mean, he seems old school to me. He reminds me of some of the pitchers that I covered really early in my career, Ollie.
He's a beauty, man. What I can say about Sonny, he has a purpose behind every single thing that he does, and he has a purpose behind every single pitch that he throws during a game. Like, he can sit here today and walk you through every single at bat, why he threw each pitch, and what he was looking to do. And it's impressive, man. He's just super intentional with everything he does, and that starts from the second he wakes up to throwing that first pitch of the game, and then the in between starts. It's just, this is a guy you definitely want in your uniform, influencing the guys next to you. It's incredibly impressive.
Let's play a few Rooney highlights to give Gray that cushion in the first inning, and we'll let you comment on that first inning and how it developed. Here's your leadoff hitter, Brendan Donovan.
There's a swing and a drive. It goes off Alonso's glove, trickles into foul territory. Donovan is on his way to second. He has a game leadoff double. Finally, Donnie's catching a break there, Ricky.
That's right. And then Wilson Contreras dumped one into right center. 2 on, 1 out, Nolan Arenado.
Hauser is ready. Working from the first base side of the rubber. His pitch. That's stroked into right field, dropping in for a hit. 1-0 Cardinals. Contreras making his way toward third. He's going to make it easily. The throw is late from DJ Stewart. Arenado with 13 RBIs, 1-0 Redbirds.
Next batter, Paul Goldschmidt.
Arenado away from first as Goldschmidt swings and he drives it to center. That is hit way back in the gap and it bounces short, hopping the wall. That scores Contreras. Coming around, Arenado, the throw, the slide, save at the plate. A 2-run double for Paul Goldschmidt. 3-0 Cardinals in the first.
And Ollie, that had to feel great as you've seen Paul Goldschmidt start to make that contact again, and that was a big one right there to put you up 3-0.
Absolutely, and setting the table. Donovan's taken much better swings. He feels like he's getting back to what he does well and being able to kind of that head-high line drive all over the field. And he's doing that a lot better right now. Contreras is a threat, but Goldie starting to kind of stay through the baseball a little more. We've seen better swings out of him, and that's and no different with Gorman. He's starting to take better swings too. So you go up and down that lineup and you look at the style of baseball that we've played, and I like our rotation. Our bullpen's done a really nice job of keeping us in games where we're behind, but also when we have a lead, just finishing the game. Our defense has been good. Guys are running the bases. They're smart and not just aggressive. And the one thing that's been lacking is offense. And, man, it's starting to come together. Guys are taking better at bats. They're starting to string together quality plate appearances, and it's resulting in some wins.
Absolutely. Gorman flew out after the Burleson walk. You're still alive here with Mason Wynn, and here's how it sounded.
Now the pitch for Mason Wynn. A swing and a ground ball. Right side, right field, base hit. Stewart's up with the ball. Coming around third and scoring. It's Paul Goldschmidt. The throw to second and back safely. Burleson just getting back in ahead of Lindor's tag.
Mason Wynn with the single, and the Cardinals have a 4-0 lead. And Mason, I mean, that one was a ground ball, but he has hit the ball. He's elevated it. He hits line drives. He hits ground balls. He shows speed. He's done a lot for you, hasn't he?
He's done a ton, and that's just a good approach right there, man. They're giving him that 4-hole, and he's able to hit it and just take what's given and not trying to do too much and pull and just – he is doing exactly what he needs to do as a hitter, man. He takes his shots when he needs to, and then if someone's going to give him that hole, he's going to take it. It's an RBI. It's a perfect approach. He's slowing the game down offensively in a way that is fun to watch, and his energy is incredible.
And I have to think we're going to see that again from Jordan Walker. It's just a matter of time. In fact, it happened last year where you saw something, the team saw something, and he went down to make an adjustment, came back, had a great 2023.
Yeah, he's taken the last couple of days to work on some of the adjustments that we've been talking about up here, and I believe he'll be in the lineup and playing right field today.
That's good, and I understand that Dylan Carlson is starting to make a step towards recovery.
Yeah, he's feeling a lot better. He's been able to take BP on the field several times, do some machine work, and we're looking at early next week for him to start that rehab assignment with the Memphis team.
Excellent. I had a listener text in and wanted to know a couple of things. Drew Rahm, how is he coming along?
Yeah, he has an appointment here early this week. I believe it's on Tuesday to get another look at what's going on there. His progress has slowed down quite a bit, so we're wanting to make sure we take another look before moving forward with anything.
And they also asked about Tommy Edman, which I'm glad they did because I haven't heard a update on him lately. How is Tommy?
Yeah, Tommy is making progress. It's been slow, but he's definitely making progress. He's swinging off the tee from both sides, and then he'll progress to soft toss and then BP. But we're making sure that wrist has the strength that it needs in order to not have any setbacks.
And the Cardinals, Lance Lynn taking the ball today as the Redbirds take on the Mets at 12:40. I know we're getting close to game time, so we're going to call it here and appreciate all of your input. It's very much valued. You know that as close as we are to game time. Thank you. We'll let you get back to it, and we appreciate it. Go get a win today.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Cardinals manager Oliver Marmol with us on KMOX. They're going for a sweep today. Great to visit with him as always. We will take a quick break, and when we come back, we are going to be joined by the athletic director at St. Louis University, Chris May. He's had a good week. Josh Schertz has pulled in some transfers. He's pulled in some recruits, and there is some momentum building as we anticipated with the St. Louis University basketball program. Chris May is with us. Speaking of athletic directors, Laird Veach the athletic director at Missouri, former GM of Mizzou Sports Properties. After that, he went on to a number of stops, including Florida, which I thought was a big, big move for him to learn the SEC in a little more depth. Then he went to Memphis and had a great run there, and they have picked Laird Veach to come back to Columbia to run this athletic program, and he is going to join us at 11:15. John Mozeliak, a little more baseball talk at 11:30. And don't forget Chris Blair, for all you race fans out there and sports fans who are curious about, I hear this a lot as we get close to the NASCAR race. I start getting texts from people, hey, you have any tickets to the NASCAR race? I'm like, they're gone. They're like I told you, they're going to sell out, and they're gone. So I would not wait too long. I understand waiting and checking weather and things like that, but I wouldn't wait too long on this June 2nd NASCAR race with the concert and everything else. It's going to be awesome. And if you hesitate, you might miss out on it. And I don't have, endless tickets that I can just direct you to either. So I hope that people jump on it. Anyway, Chris Blair will be with us to talk about why this is such a big deal right now for not only the Metro East, but the St. Louis area. NASCAR is a huge brand, and their president was in town just a few days ago and called us the greatest sports town in America. We'll be back in just a moment. Sports on a Sunday. He's right, by the way. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX, sponsored by Gray Bar.
When our truck stops in front of your home, you'll know it's there.
Because you'll feel magic in the air.
Things are about to get a whole lot better.
In fact, they're about to be wonderful.
We brought you a whole truckload of magic
and fresh air freedom.
All you have to do is point.
You'll see the magic with your eyes.
When that junk disappears.
And you'll feel the fresh air freedom
throughout your body.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
When that dull junk is gone, all your cool stuff will sparkle.
You'll feel the magic of it on your face.
And it will make you smile.
You'll see big clean rooms.
And it will make you dance.
You'll call your friends.
Because you'll want them to see it and feel it too.
You're going to want to share that fresh air freedom with everyone.
Because you are a delightful person.
When you're ready to unleash the delight,
call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no picking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
The Doctors of Ophthalmology Associates are pleased to welcome Dr. Samuel Berry to the practice. He joins Doctors Birdie, Malhotra, Brasati, and Royer as the Doctors' Doctors. 314-966-5000 or youridoc.com.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6481. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6481. That's 800-575-6481. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-514-1026. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-514-1026 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-514-1026 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-514-1026.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Fun show today. Ollie Marmol, Cardinals manager, just joined us from his office in New York. Cards Mets coming up in a little under 2 hours, with a pregame at 11:45 and the first pitch at 12:40. So a little over 2 hours for that first pitch. Joining us, and it won't be long, we'll be talking about his team back on KMOX, and that's the athletic director at St. Louis University. Chris May joins us. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning, Tom. How are we doing today?
Doing well. It's been a fun week or weeks for you with Josh Schertz being announced as the head coach of this program. And as you hoped and anticipated, there have been some players who have followed. Pretty nice looking class building here for the Billikens.
Yeah, it's been great. Josh has put together a high level staff that's recruiting very well, and he's got they're adding players daily in the portal. I think we're going to have another big announcement today. So yeah, it's been an exciting time as working with Josh as he puts the pieces together of what he thinks it's going to take to win A10 championships and make runs here at SLU. So it's certainly an exciting time. What's been really neat about it, Tom, is that the whole, there's a whole region of people here who are following this. I was up in Southwest Wisconsin yesterday, and I was in a Holiday Inn Express. I'm walking through. I got my Billiken gear, and all of a sudden, this guy comes up to me and knows all about our basketball team. And so there's a lot of people paying attention to Billiken basketball right now, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, that is great. And you know what else is? I hope that this is the case, that the schedule comes together to where some of these big names will play you too, and that that it becomes also great for national viewers to see high-level basketball, but that St. Louis University, obviously, the bigger programs that you play, the better position you're going to be in come selection time.
Well, no question, and that's that balance that you always have to strike when you're putting a schedule together. And Josh's team's working on that right now. Also, with the net today, it's as much science as art and putting a schedule together that puts you in position to be in that large. And that's all of our conversations: is how do you have a schedule that puts you in position to be in that large team in the NCAA tournament? Who do you have to play? Where do you have to play those games? The results you've got to get. We're also having a lot of those conversations with Bernadette McGlade and the Atlantic 10, and how the Atlantic 10 schedules to put teams in position who are really committed to competing at the highest level to have the type of schedule it takes to be in that large team. So a lot of that work going on right now.
Josh Schertz's Indiana State team, really, he played 7 guys. That's what he liked to do. He didn't go too deep into his bench. The starting 5 and then the 6th man, actually, Xavier Bledson, was awesome, but he has run out of eligibility at this point. Your starting 5 for Indiana State, you had Julian Larry and Jason Kent go to Texas. Ryan Conwell goes to Xavier. And then here comes the big man. Robbie Avila makes it official. He goes to St. Louis University. What a day that was. And I know the days leading up were probably a lot of fun too.
Oh, they were. It was great to get to meet Robbie and his parents and his brother. Just wonderful people. And I think the Billiken Nation will totally embrace Robbie and his family. They are wonderful people, and they are very, very fired up to be on the Billiken team. They're already buying extra season tickets, bringing people down. So that Robbie is just a fantastic young guy, and Isaiah as well. Just got to meet his family, and they are very fired up to come be Billikens.
Isaiah Swope was the next one to come over. That guy is a killer. I mean, he is a cold-blooded shooter from the outside. He really is something.
Well, Tom, what didn't get reported a whole lot is he was playing with a leg and a half. He had a leg injury that he got taken care of when the season was out, and so when you look at what he did, not being 100% healthy for the last 2.5 months of the season, it's really exciting to see what might happen when he's 100% healthy.
Yeah, he is really great. And back to Avila, it's his ability to be a great teammate, but also from a basketball sense, teach the players coming in what exactly Josh Schertz is trying to do, to have a facilitator like that on the floor, just so people understand. And I'm sure if they've watched Indiana State by now, they know that he is not your traditional back to the basket big man. He can do that, but he does a lot more than that.
Well, no question. He is a big time passer. He can shoot it, but he can really pass it and facilitate. He's a special talent. When Josh talks, it's interesting. I've been in many of the conversations. He's like, basically, we have the 5 spot, and then we have all these other positions that rotate around and flash to the basket and screen and kick out. And so, but Robbie clearly is a very, very special talent. We can't wait to get him here on campus and get him in our sports performance area and really help him grow and get strong and maximize his wonderful potentials.
That's good to hear. Max Picard, I wanted to ask you, I really haven't had a chance to talk to you about him, the 6'11" recruit. Yeah.
Max is a very, very talented big from the Netherlands originally. Is a big kid, that 6'11" with a 7'2" wingspan, and can really run and shoot the ball. And so Max will grow into the system, but he'll remind a lot of people of Rob Lowe of back in the day, but he is a really, really talent that his long-term upside is huge for our program.
All right, that's a good comp. I like that, Rob Lowe. Josiah Dotzler is the transfer that didn't get as much attention because he came from Creighton and not Indiana State, but Creighton played him, and he was also the Gatorade Player of the Year in Nebraska. That tell us about him.
Really, Joe's a really, really talented young guy. He played obviously on a great Creighton team. Didn't get the moments he thought he wanted. Was a phenom in high school. Really a dynamite young man that our Billiken faithful are going to like, and just a wonderful kid. He's a high-level student and a high-level basketball player. And so we're thrilled to have Josiah coming as well.
You also brought in the great Chicago recruit and AJ Casey. How are those season tickets rolling? I mean, are you seeing an uptick here?
Yeah, it's been great. We've had a lot of deposits already. We're moving up our renewal time so that all the Billiken faithful can get the renewals and get their seat improvements done, because we've got several hundred requests now for new season tickets, and we think that's going to grow rapidly as once the kids can come, then you can really start marketing the images and the young people. And let's not forget Gibson, Jimerson, Larry Hughes, and Kellen Thames coming back, and they've had some unbelievable workouts in the last 2-3 weeks. So it's going to be an exciting time in Chaifetz Arena for sure. But between the season ticket deposits, massive social media excitement around Josh and the signings, we've had great increases in those spaces. The NIL space we're active in, and that's going unbelievably well. So it's we've got a lot of momentum, Tom. But what's been great about it is it's turned into momentum for other sports and other teams. You know, you and I talked many times about the great job Rebecca Tillett's doing. She wins the WNIT. She's got a big announcement coming tomorrow on a big time recruit that she was able to get out of a Power 5 school. So that's exciting. You've got You got baseball competing for an A10 championship. We've got 2 series coming up the next 2 weeks with George Mason and Dayton, but our baseball team competing to win the A10 championship with a couple locals. You got Pat Clohessy and Tyler Fogarty, both Chaminade kids who are leading this team. You got a softball team competing for an A10 championship. And then one sport that doesn't get their due is our tennis program. Played great in the A10 tournament, and they've got a shot to play in some postseason that we'll find out about tomorrow. So this basketball excitement has really helped everybody really grow and grow the excitement, and everybody's got a little extra bounce in their step as you see these spring sports really having great success. So it's a lot of fun on St. Louis University campus right now with their athletic teams.
Yeah, you can see that happening. Jimerson comes back. You mentioned Hughes and Thames. They all seem to be great fits for this system. I can't wait to see Jimerson kind of let free now to get around and get some shots off. But you're right. It does create momentum for everybody. And before you know it, soccer is back. What about, let me ask you this before we go, going back to Rebecca's program, you know how much I feel about this being on the inside as their play-by-play voice on radio. How do you capture the momentum of women's basketball and translate that to Rebecca Tillett's program at Chaffetz Arena?
Well, you just keep growing. You keep growing one, and as Rebecca and I talked, the WNIT is another big step. What she's able to do, and she's such a great coach / teacher. She is really a consummate teacher. And as we continue to take advantage of the recruiting opportunities, like we'll hear about tomorrow, that's how it's going to continue to grow. And that's what I'm really excited about. And that this team, we had the Phoenix Dinner of Champions. We had it last week about winning the WNIT, and Rebecca did this really cool thing about the next year's captains and about how the torch is being handed down to the next leaders. And Peyton Kennedy and Ken Calhoun spoke about this season, but what moving to the next step is. And it was really neat to listen to these women talk about building something unbelievably special. Obviously, Kylie McMakin was an unbelievable rock star that she came and took the great skills she had from Longwood and did an even better job here. But you can see the foundation getting built with that program. And that's what I'm really excited about, is that the foundation's getting built for consistent excellence. And when you do that at a high level, like Rebecca and her staff and our team's doing, there's great potential in women's basketball here at SLU. So it's really an exciting time.
Seeing her in the same room with Dawn Staley and Gino Auriemma, I know how much she appreciated that and how that adds more inspiration to what she's doing. She looks up to those two for sure, and it's going to be a lot of fun to see that program develop. That is exciting to hear about her recruiting announcement forthcoming and another transfer, as you teased, on the men's side, perhaps. Of course, we let the player himself make that announcement, so we appreciate that, and we look forward to it. And thank you, Chris.
Yeah, well, big exciting news coming today on that front. So again, winning breeds winning, and we've just got a lot of wins going on off the court right now, which lead to wins on the court. So I couldn't be more excited about what's going on across the board. Again, Josh has helped light the fire, but we've got a bunch of coaches, like I mentioned. From Darren Hendrickson is going to break 1,000 wins here in the next 2 weeks. That's a high level of wins in college baseball. We're battling to win an A10 championship there and with softball. And so there's just a lot of great things going on, and I couldn't be more proud to partner with KMOX and you, Tom. You've been unbelievable in helping us promote Billiken Athletics. And so I invite everybody down to campus next weekend. We've got both softball and baseball series going on next weekend. We invite everybody down to see these kids get after it, because we've got some really wonderful Billiken student athletes who are having high levels of success.
Hopefully we get some beautiful St. Louis weather for you and we can enjoy all of that together. And thank you for being a great partner to us. And we look forward to the upcoming games and then next season as well. Thanks so much, Chris.
All right, Tom. Have a good one. Take care.
Chris May, the athletic director at St. Louis University. When we come back, the general manager of Worldwide Technology Raceway, Chris Blair, on KMOX's Sports on a Sunday Morning, sponsored by Gray Bar.
Just a reminder to have your air conditioner checked for the summer, so you don't have a mishap and it goes down in the hottest day of the year. But it's always best to have it done. Call us, and we'll be more than happy to come out there and check it for you. And like always, if you're having your furnace checked by another company and you are told that this is the year you need to replace it, call me for a second opinion. The 0% interest is still available on most brands. Save your cash and keep your credit cards open and away from those high rates. Call me. You'll be glad you did. Bart Inman, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. The easiest. It is 314-293-2600 or on the website bartinman.com. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
If you want jazz music, go to New Orleans. Bagels, New York. And for psychics, think California Psychics. You want the best, you go to the best. At California Psychics, home of free spirits and open minds, we know better than anyone what makes a good psychic. That's why we guarantee if your reading isn't life-changing, it's free. Visit CaliforniaPsychics.com and experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
Okay, guys, we got to put our trays up for takeoff.
Where's Dad?
Oh, he's in the back. We could only get 3 seats together.
Daddy has my pillow.
We'll get it later. Can you not put your feet up, please?
Why aren't we going?
We must be in line for takeoff.
Like security?
Well, that was a different line.
I have to go.
We just sat down.
But I have to go.
The seatbelt sign's on.
Why aren't we moving?
Hey, no picking.
We're just 15th in line for takeoff.
Son of a...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
I see clearly now, thanks to the doctors, Birdie, Malhotra, Brusati, Royer, and Barry. You can too. Go to youridoc.com.
Find what you love, love what you find. A Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. Spirits and beer, thousands of wines. Walk right through the door. It's all here to explore. With guides in the know and prices so low, it just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Drink responsibly, B21. Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through HIMS, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Broadcasting from the Underline 3 Lawyers. GetJim.com studios.
KMOX. As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
Pass it on. You've heard it said, he's a diamond in the rough. Or maybe, diamonds are forever. Here's something else I've learned about diamonds. They're just pieces of coal put under pressure for a long, long, long time. So when I start feeling like I want to give up, I think about that little piece of coal. And if that piece of coal can make something of itself by not giving up, so can I. Persistence is in you.
Pass it on.
From PassItOn.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
We get to spend the next 7 minutes with the general manager of Worldwide Technology Raceway. Chris Blair is with us, and in 7 minutes, you would miss a lot in the Cup Series race, the Enjoy Illinois 300. I'll tell you that on June 2nd. How are you, Chris?
I'm doing great. Yeah, the days are counting down, and it's fast approaching.
It is, no doubt about it. You've got a race, you have a concert, you have all kinds of stuff to put together. It is one big event. Let's start, though, with the big announcement this past week. I was there for it, 5-year extension with Worldwide Technology. as your naming rights sponsor. And while that seemed like a foregone conclusion from a lot of people, it is a big deal. Dave Stewart and Worldwide Technology have really given so much to help make all of this happen, haven't they?
Oh, they really have. And, it's so great to see, when this originally started, it was an idea of Dave's, and now to see how the entire Worldwide Technology family, the marketing departments, the sales department, everybody over there is really, they're seeing the benefit, and it's really helped them with what they're trying to accomplish. It's great for the community, which is another big part of what they like to do. For us, having the association with organizations such as Worldwide Technology, it really opens a lot of doors for us as well. So it's a win-win for both, and we're just really excited to have them coming back.
Kyle Busch has the pole for today's race in Dover. He is your defending champion. I would not count him out today or on June 2nd, and certainly you're going to be ramping up some things with him here shortly, aren't you, with number 8?
Yeah, we sure are. Kyle and I go way back from our days in Vegas together, and he's always been just a tremendous supporter of anything that we've been doing through his teams that won here. When the Truck Series returned here 10 years ago, Bubba Wallace was driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports at that time, and Kyle and his entire team over there, they've always been supportive. Now seeing him racing with us in the Cup Series, he finished second year one. He wins it in year 2. He obviously knows how to get around our racetrack, so we're pretty excited. And I'm glad to see him, rebounding because, after our race last year, his team kind of went on the skids a little bit, and they had the rest of the year was terrible. So now we're starting to see some progress. He's making a pretty solid run. This is probably a good time to be doing that, and he should be super competitive when it comes time for him to get here in just over a month.
Steve Phelps, the president of NASCAR, was in town this past week. What was it like to hear his words, calling us the best sports town in the country, but also praising what the track has done to really continue what NASCAR wanted to do, which was make Cup Series races available to everyone?
Well, it's one of the great things about Steve, and he's a fan of all sports. And when we were, just having the initial conversations with them about having a race, he came to town. That was back in 2019. He's from the Northeast, so he was a Boston Bruins fan, unfortunately. And he was in town while we were doing some of our playoffs. He was there the night we clinched the Western Conference when the Blues did, and we knew we had that matchup coming in with the Bruins. So we had a pretty good rivalry going on that one. But, he's been here, being able to see the teams. And it was so great when he was here because we had him with Dave Stewart and then Andy Taylor, all kinds of folks from the sports scene here in the business community in St. Louis that really welcomed him in. And that impressed him. And then seeing just the way the city and our businesses rally around all of our sports properties, it was fantastic. And that had a big part to do with us getting that race. He knew that if it came here, that the community would support it. And hearing Steve's comments, it was fantastic. Gotten to know Steve very well the last few years, and he's sincere. When he says it, he means it. And, we're very proud of that fact.
Yeah, we have a way of just drawing people in here in St. Louis. If you're not from here, you just become one of us, and you kind of get why we just love sports truly. I mean, love building our region around sports, and that's what Curtis Francois and this group has done at Worldwide Technology Raceway. You and I have been in partnership. I've served as a brand ambassador, let's say, in a lot of ways since before NASCAR Cup landed here, and I see the inner workings of the track. I mean, Curtis and your staff really make it happen, but you build around it this race, an event. You've delivered your promise, and now we have this Confluence Music Festival with, and to your point, diversity, inclusion, everybody involved in this music event. This is not a country music event. It's not a hip hop event. It's Ludacris and Riley Green. It's T-Pain and Adam Wainwright. It's Big and Rich and everybody else jumping in. I mean, it's really something.
It really is. When this started out, it was supposed to be just, we were trying to line up a couple of music acts to play around the NASCAR races. And we were having those conversations with Dave Stewart and his team, and Dave too. And they said, hey, we want to get involved in the music aspect. And it went from being a couple of music acts to 30 music acts. And a full-blown production. Kofi Coleman and the team over there at the Muni got involved. They're the ones who helped put it all together for us. And it really is a great community play, and it showcases so many things that we're doing. It's not only, diverse music acts, but there's also a big component of this is making sure that we're showcasing musicians from the St. Louis region. And so that's been very important too. So there's a lot of artists that we've been showcasing, such as, Bailey Zimmerman last year. He grew up just 90 miles from here. We've had Alexandra Kay the year before. She's gone on doing some great things. So we try to showcase both the local talent as well and give them that platform to show what they're doing. And that's all because of the dream and the vision of Dave Stewart, Dave too, and everybody over there at Worldwide Technologies and the Stewart Family Foundation. They're really showcasing a lot of great things about St. Louis. On
your website, www.raceway.com, the Enjoy Illinois 300 countdown ticker, I should say, is going. It says 35 days, 3 hours, 33 minutes, and 30 seconds. So yeah, it's on. What do you think you want fans to know the most, Chris? What should fans know about this event as they start to get their tickets and plan?
Well, the number one thing, they just need to know that when they buy that ticket that gets them through the gate, it gets them the world of everything that's taking place that day, with the music festivals, the car shows, all the different things that we have going on. So we're really emphasizing this year that, your race ticket is your concert ticket. You don't have to buy anything else to get that exposure. But it is really an event like no other. And the positive comments we're getting from the industry, there's so many people, other tracks that are seeing what we're doing, and we're kind of the guinea pigs for some of these other tracks. We're trying it, and then they're going to they follow and do it themselves. And so we've been a pretty good little test shop for a lot of things that are going on. So when the fans come to our race, they know they're going to see something that they're not going to get anywhere else. It's an event like no other, and we just keep trying to grow and make it bigger and better each year. Which, when you talk about that countdown clock, that's one of the things I try to ignore it as much as possible, because I know that we're always looking to the next event. You're only as good as your next event, and each day when we get there, our goal is what are we going to do today that's going to make the event even bigger and better, and that's our number one mission.
NASCAR weekend.
They know they're going to see a show.
Yeah, that's right. June 1st and 2nd, www.raceway.com. Thank you, Chris.
Hey, thank you, Tom. See you.
We'll be right back after the news.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org, or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
I feel like I should call him.
Why would you call him now? Everything's working beautifully.
Jerry Kelly is St. Louis's favorite heating and cooling company. Mine too. They make me happy and comfortable every day. That deserves a phone call once in a while.
Jerry Kelly's your favorite because they're fast.
They're my favorite because they got it going on.
Nope. They're our favorite because they're good. Since they fixed it, it has stayed fixed.
I still feel like I should call.
Why don't you just visit
JerryKelly.com?
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really help me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216. 800-499-1216.
When the game goes into overtime. But the game goes into overtime. The choice to enjoy is easy. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Pick up Bud Light at your local convenience store today. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Nobody wants a surprise in their jelly donut.
It's toothpaste?
That's because the middle is the most important part. At Graybar, we're at the middle of electrical and datacom jobs across the country, connecting installers, facility managers, and business owners with smart solutions for their most challenging projects, which means stocking and delivering crucial products on time and on budget, with no surprises, thanks to our nationwide logistics network. Yep, Graybar does that.
Endorses me.
Former Vice President Mike Pence declared last month that he would not back Trump in November over a wide range of issues, including January 6. The city of Sulphur, just outside of Oklahoma City, is now reporting significant damage this morning from strong tornadoes. KWTV reporter Addie Crawford is there.
Downtown Sulphur took a direct hit. Several homes, structures damaged, including the town's post office. Sheriff's office also says several injuries.
At least one person died in nearby Holdenville. The National Weather Service reporting severe damage in parts of Nebraska and Iowa as well. A 16-year-old's in custody now in Sanford, Florida, near Orlando for allegedly shooting people during a fight outside a nightclub early this morning. Deputies say as many as 10 people were injured there. Diplomatic efforts to end the war in Gaza have intensified now with new Hamas footage of 2 more hostages. Reporter Linda Gradstein.
There's been a sense in Israel, among many Israelis, that the government has not done enough to get the hostages freed, has not taken seriously some of the proposals that were put on the table. And this kind of galvanized that camp to say, look, there are still some of them at least alive.
Hannah Siegel tells Face the Nation her uncle Keith is one of them.
This is the first time that we're seeing him, that we're hearing him. It's surreal.
Hamas is still believed to be holding 133 hostages in Gaza, including several Americans.
Non dimentichiamo che tutti abbiamo errori.
Pope Francis is in Venice, Italy today, visiting inmates at a women's prison. He also stopped by an exhibit set up by the Vatican there that highlights the poor and neglected. It's the pontiff's first trip outside Rome this year. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Mid-America's most trusted source for news. KMOX.
At 11:03, we have cloudy skies, windy conditions, 72 downtown at the Arch. Good morning. I'm Scott Jagow. Our top story.
You will be arrested. We're not leaving. We're not leaving. We're not leaving.
A clash between police and protesters ended with dozens of arrests at Wash U last night. Among those arrested, U.S. presidential candidate Jill Stein with the Green Party. On social media, Stein said the people detained were released from the St. Louis County Jail around 2 a.m. Aldermanic President Megan Green was also at the protest but not arrested. She says the protest was calm until police came in aggressively.
I think that the police response was definitely dictated by the university. There were 6 different police departments that were on site. I don't think that organically that number of police officers would be on site without the request of the university.
Green says she hopes the school will choose dialogue and diplomacy next time. Protesters called on Wash U to cut ties with the war on Gaza. St. Louis Mayor Tashara Jones announces she has signed the Automated Camera Enforcement Act.
This bill gives the city and the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department a new tool to curb traffic violence in St. Louis, to hold drivers accountable and improve safety on our streets.
No word on how quickly the cameras will be installed at intersections. A college basketball Hall of Fame coach will be the next person inducted into the Hall of Famous Missourians.
The name Norm Stewart is synonymous with Mizzou sports, having played on a national championship baseball team at the university and also starred on its basketball squad. A few years ago, Stewart gave a lecture at the State Historical Society and marveled at how his success during 3 decades as Tigers basketball coach took him to great heights.
I've had the good life of being involved with a great number of people at the highest levels in business, politics, sports, everything else. So I don't assume that I am in that ranking with them. I just simply, it's something that happened in my lifetime.
At age 89, Stewart will be inducted into the Hall of Famous Missourians at the state capitol May 1st. Brad Choate, KMOX News.
It's going to stay windy and humid, and we're going to have some thunderstorms later on tonight for sure. Flooding, downpours, hail, damaging wind gusts are possible. Then things will clear up into tomorrow, maybe a passing shower early, breaking for some sun, less humidity, 76 for a high. We're in the low 80s on Tuesday. Right now it's 71 in St. Peter's, 72 in Florissant, and 72 downtown. I'm Scott Jagow, KMOX News.
This is the Graybar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Graybar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Now from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Man, great to hear the voice of Norm Stewart right there. One of the all-time greats. So happy that he is receiving that honor, and hopefully there is much, much more for him for years to come for Norm Stewart and the accolades that he is just one of the greatest to ever do it. One of the greatest to ever roam the sideline and coach a basketball team. So I could not say enough about him as a person. He means a lot to my family. Not to get into it too deep here, but when I lost my father right before I went to college, one of the people who came to my side was Norm Stewart and his wife, Virginia. And my dad and Coach Stewart were friends. And he followed through over and over to make sure that I was comfortable. And I was at Indiana, not at Mizzou. I mean, he liked to tease me about that. How did Coach Knight get you over there? But what a human. Unbelievable person. By the way, when will they learn, Drew? When will they learn? Cody Schrader is a running back at a very, very high level. I mean, all he did was get passed over in the transfer portal. He got passed over coming out of high school. He got passed over over and over again. And when Missouri brought him in, all he did was go and lead the SEC in rushing last year. Now he goes undrafted. But the San Francisco 49ers have swooped in and they have grabbed Cody Schrader, an undrafted free agent signed very quickly and very smartly, I might add, by the San Francisco 49ers. I'm sure they see what we see, is that he has the ability to gain yards in a very short time. He can deliver punishment. Is he small? We'll see. But there are some small running backs in the NFL. Is he strong? Absolutely. Can he gain yards? Yes. Is he a great teammate? Yes. I always say in sports that those with the highest character will be the highest overachievers. And Cody Schrader is of the highest character. And I think that Cody Schrader will be an excellent addition to the San Francisco 49ers, and he will have to show and have to prove that he can be a great running back over time in the NFL. But I would not put it past him. Here we go again. Another group of people have overlooked Cody Schrader. And so the Lutheran South product is made his way to the San Francisco 49ers. Could not be happier for him. Laird Veach, the new athletic director at the University of Missouri, is going to join us at 11:15 to talk about his new job. Can't wait to chat with him. And I would not put him in this position to comment on this, but I will say it. It is nice to have somebody who wants to be at Mizzou for a long time. It is. I'll talk to him a little bit about that, but I don't want him to have to comment on previous athletic directors. But I will say that it is a big job, and I understand the pressures are high, but it really has to go to somebody who wants to be there for a long, long time and see it through the ups and the downs, and be somebody who's going to listen and someone who's going to cover the entire state and bring that university a great product, but also to bring in the fundraising dollars, but to be accessible and to understand from St. Louis to Kansas City, from the northern border to the southern border, you've got to be everywhere. And you have to be there for a long time to do that. And I think that Laird Veach is an outstanding choice. But we will talk to him about all the challenges ahead for him coming up at 11:15. Let's get into a few things you might have missed in sports overnight. First, Lionel Messi scored a couple of goals, and Inter Miami beat the New England Revolution 4-1 last night. Messi did not disappoint. How about this crowd? 65,612. at Gillette Stadium. Scored on a left-footed kick from deep inside the box for his 9th goal of the season, broke a 1-all tie in the 68th minute. That attendance record beat the previous record of 61,316 back in 2002. That was when the Revolution lost to the LA Galaxy in the MLS final. Over 65,000 in there to see Messi. City has the week off. They will be playing on May 4th at Houston. Right now, taking a look at the table in Major League Soccer, Inter Miami, as I think a lot of people anticipated, they are the number 1 team with Messi leading the way. They have 21 points, 6 wins, 2 losses, and 3 draws. City right now has 2 wins, 1 loss, and 6 draws. They've only lost 1 match. They have 12 points. They are currently sitting in 9th place, looking up at Houston, the team they are going to play on May 4th. The Battlehawks are playing right now. They are taking on DC. That game is scoreless in the first quarter. They are just getting underway on the road. We'll keep an eye on that one for you. The Battlehawks are 3-1 on the season. They have won 3 in a row. In the NHL, the Blues, of course, are on the outside looking in, but the NHL playoffs, the Stanley Cup playoffs, are exciting nonetheless. There are 4 games today for you puckheads. It's pretty exciting to have Colorado, Winnipeg at 1:30. Nashville and Vancouver at 4, Washington and the Rangers at 7, and a late game, Edmonton at LA. The only series that could be decided tonight is the Rangers. They are up 3-0 at Washington. The other series are 2-1. Colorado leads 2-1, Vancouver's up 2-1, and Edmonton, who I think might take the West, is up 2-1. In the NBA, these are the games today. A noon tip for the Sixers at home against the Knicks. That'll be coming up here at the top of the hour. The Knicks are up 2-1 in that series. 2:30 tip for the Mavericks at home against the Clippers. Dallas is up 2-1. The Indiana Pacers look pretty good. They won a dramatic game the other night. They will be taking on Milwaukee. They're up 2-1 in their series. They tip at 6 in the late game tonight. Phoenix down 0-3, could be swept by the Minnesota Timberwolves. That is an 8:30 tip-off. Orlando and Cleveland played yesterday. Orlando won that ball game and tied that series at 2-2. Oklahoma State overwhelmed New Orleans. The final of that one was 106-85, and the Thunder look great. They're up 3-0 on the Pelicans. Jason Tatum had 22 last night as Boston beat Miami 104-84 to take a 2-1 lead in that series. And the Lakers finally beat Denver. First time they've done that since 22. LeBron James scored 30, and the Lakers avoided first-round elimination with a 119-108 win over the Nuggets. When we come back, we will be visited by Laird Veach, the athletic director at the University of Missouri, and I go way back with him. I will tell you how when we come back on KMOX's Sports on a Sunday Morning.
If you're drowning in IRS debt and can't afford to pay, then you need to take advantage of special IRS tax programs that are available and free yourself from IRS collection efforts once and for all. Due to the financial hardship consumers are facing throughout the country, the Internal Revenue Service has made it easier to settle delinquent tax problems. An open phone line has been established by Community Tax for consumers to call and see if they qualify. Take down this number or store it in your cell phone, but call the Community Tax Helpline at 800-514-1020. If you owe back taxes to the IRS and cannot afford to pay them back, or even if you have years of unfiled tax returns, there's no need to fear anymore. But you have to call the Community Tax Helpline today at 800-514-1026 for the help that you need. Don't take on the IRS alone. They can attack your wages, savings, pension, home, and even your Social Security check. Call 800-514-1026 for your free consultation and to see if you qualify. That's 800-514-1026.
When our truck stops in front of your home, you'll know it's there.
Because you'll feel magic in the air.
Things are about to get a whole lot better.
In fact, they're about to be wonderful.
We brought you a whole truckload of magic
and fresh air freedom.
All you have to do is point.
You'll see the magic with your eyes.
When that junk disappears.
And you'll feel the fresh air freedom
throughout your body.
We're 1-800-GOT-JUNK. We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
When that dull junk is gone, all your cool stuff will sparkle.
You'll feel the magic of it on your face.
And it will make you smile.
You'll see big clean rooms.
And it will make you dance.
You'll call your friends.
Because you'll want them to see it and feel it too.
You're going to want to share that fresh air freedom with everyone.
Because you are a delightful person.
But When you're ready to unleash the delight,
Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We make junk disappear.
All you have to do is point.
Hi, I'm Jim Brennan with McKelvey Homes. This may be your last chance to get the new carefree villa home of your dreams at the Preserve in Afton. Our homes offer a lifestyle of convenience and relaxation without the burdens of lawn, landscaping, and snow removal. The Preserve is conveniently located at Watson and McKenzie Road with sales prices starting in the 480s. We will build to order or select from one of our 7 move-in ready homes at substantial savings and special financing in the 4s. Hurry, these deals won't last. Visit McKelveyhomes.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been injured in a truck accident, you need the best. Onder Law, voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis. Our attorneys will hold truck drivers and owners accountable. We stand up to big trucking companies to get you the compensation you deserve. Let us make your case our cause. Truck accident? Call Onder Law today for a free review. 314 or 618-9-million. That's 314 or 618-9 all zeros.
What keeps you up at night? If it's a new diagnosis or an aging parent or just being home alone, our St. Louis-based ACM Care can help. Their RNs will listen to you, advocate for you, and get you through this. ACM Care is a nonprofit based right here in St. Louis. They've been helping St. Louisans for over 24 years, and they want to help you too. The first call is free. You can reach them at 314-293-0697 or acmcare.org or Google them. ACM Care will get you care.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
Welcome back to the show. We have had a good one so far. Ollie Marmol, Chris May, Chris Blair, Cardinals, Billikens, Worldwide Technology Raceway, respectively. You can go back on the Odyssey app or the KMOX.com Sports on a Sunday Morning podcast page to hear those interviews. I normally go right to guests, and I don't do long opens, but let me just tell a quick story about our next guest. I just told a personal story about Norm Stewart, so I want to say something about this guest here. My first professional play-by-play job, the first time I got asked to do play-by-play as a professional was the University of Missouri. They asked me to fill in for Mike Kelly and do basketball in 2003 when Mizzou was ranked 5th in the country. I did the opener at Oakland University. And certainly it was a nerve-wracking but fun time for me. And this guest who joins us now was our leader of Mizzou Sports Properties. He's the general manager of Mizzou Sports Properties. What I remember about him was always there he was always present. He was always there with a warm handshake, with a smile, with a positive piece of advice or just good vibes overall. And everybody, and I mean everybody, liked being around him. And so it is so nice and heartwarming for me to know that he is back as the athletic director now at the University of Missouri, and that is Laird Veach. Laird, how are you?
I'm great, Tom. Thanks for that introduction. That was very kind of you. Good memory. It's crazy to me that was actually 20 years ago.
Isn't that nuts?
Time has flown, but connections, still remain. So I look forward to continuing to work with you, and it's pretty awesome. My first radio interview is in the mighty KMOX, so that seems really appropriate.
Yeah, we did. We had you on, and it's great to have you on your first radio interview here in 2024. When you think back to those times, what do you think about? 1997 is when you started with some fundraising efforts at the University of Missouri.
Yeah, it was a really fun time in my life. I mean, that was when we first got started, when our girls were born, but we were hanging out with a lot of young professionals and just really learning the business and, seeing how college athletics brings people together, the connections that it makes. It's fun for a young guy like that to just be able to interact with, guys like Norm Stewart and Gary Pinkel and, all the legends back there, but also be able to make the rounds across the state and, shake hands, see people. It was a lot of fun, learned a ton. And then that time frame, not only in the athletic department, but also my time with Learfield and being the general manager there, gave me a great perspective on this profession. So it was a fun time.
What did your experience in football teach you as well at K-State, because you had the opportunity to be between the lines as well as outside the lines?
Yeah, well, that certainly was the motivation for wanting to be in this profession, is the experience I had there. A lot of what I learned, honestly, was how challenging it is to be a student athlete, the pressures of it, the discipline and the time management. That was also a different era when there wasn't a 20-hour rule, and there was we were having 3-hour padded practices 4 days a week. So it was a little bit different in that time, but I learned a lot, and just how powerful that kind of experience can be to develop young people and the impact it can have on a community. It was a pretty awesome time for me to be a player there, because that was when everything sort of turned around, and the energy that brought to that community and that those people there was also part of the inspiration. So it led to a lot of great years and a really special profession.
Another guy that spent a little time at K-State, of course, we knew him as Mizzou as anybody I have ever been around in my life, and that is John Cadillac, who I miss every day. Great friend of our family as well, and I know a friend of yours. What did John Cadillac teach you about fundraising and about Mizzou?
Yeah, well, first of all, a lot of what John taught me was really just more about life and about people. I mean, I don't know if I've ever been around a man that connected with people as well as he did. I mean, still to this day, when you mention that name, anybody that knew him, anybody who was around him, there's this like immediate emotional connection. And he was just such a real, sincere, heartwarming guy. And it really taught me a lot about just being yourself with people and the power that can have to develop real relationships. And but man, he had a lot of fun. He there was you just laugh and shake your head and all the crazy things he said, including on air, which was I will never forget the what he had. I think it was a beef promotion, and he would talk about it on every broadcast about the steak that he had the night before, and tender as a mother's love was a line that I remember him throwing out there time again. He was a special guy.
He sure was, and you could hear it in his voice too. If they let somebody through, or if they didn't block correctly, he'd be like, "Oh." I mean, it was painful for him.
It was. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know if an offensive line has ever got more publicity on a radio broadcast than the John Cadillac color commentating years. He was dialed into those guys up front for sure.
And when we saw Mizzou reach the mountaintop, and again, it was brief, but they ended up not winning the Big 12. They would have played for the national championship, but they were number one in the nation in 2007. Just John, knowing that they had beaten Kansas, which is, of course, everything came down to that for him and for all Mizzou fans. They beat Kansas at Arrowhead Stadium. They were the number one team in America. I'll never forget what that was like.
Yeah. It is incredible the impact that can have. If you stop and think about not only the memories and the fun times, but what that does for a fan base, and really an institution, like the University of Missouri, when you can rally and get that kind of exposure and just all of the energy that comes from it. That's what we're shooting for, right? That's what we strive for, not only because we're competitors and that's what we want to do, but because of the real big picture impact that has on, everybody involved. It's an awesome time when you're rolling and when you're winning, and we need to do everything we can to help make that happen.
What do you think of Eli Drinkwitz and what he's accomplished so far?
I've been super impressed with him. Obviously there's success there and the winning and the year he just had. But even in my early conversations with him, he is incredibly sharp. I mean, he is a CEO coach, and in this era, that is exactly what you need. You have to have somebody that sees beyond the X's and O's and is willing to, adapt and adjust, figure out how to, find advantages and push things forward, because it's a strange time in college athletics, but that strange time also creates opportunity, and he's figured out ways to try to take advantage of that and position an institution that, hasn't had the level of traditional success that, many in the SEC have, the biggest, most competitive, challenging conference in the country, and found a way to make the right kind of moves to get in a position to continue to be successful. So it's super impressive. I just my approach is always supporting coaches. I mean, they make or break our success. So ultimately, for me, it's about partnering with him, figuring out ways that I can help him, and that ultimately we can get the resources we need to be successful.
Yeah, he's got a little Cadillac in him. He can connect with people, and he understands people as well. And to raise that amount of money to expand your stadium is just part of what you're going to be doing. I know that is a big task ahead that you're ready for.
Absolutely, and I had some people ask me, so you haven't even got there. They just announced this. How do you feel about it? I think it's awesome. I mean, because this is what I really, if you had to pick one thing that I love doing, it's raising money for big, impactful facility projects like this. For one, it's just what I have the most experience in. So we're also kind of, we're all kind of drawn to our, to our core competency, if you will. But I love the energy that comes from it, the rallying point that comes around that, the ability to help ask people to help and invest in big ways, and then for them to see tangibly the impact of that. It's great for the people that give too. They enjoy it. They feel part of it, and they know that they're having an impactful type of investment that's going to have long-term results. So it's a lot of fun. I mean, we got a lot of work to do. There's no question. A lot of money to raise, a lot of things to manage, but we're gonna have a good time getting after it.
Laird, I know that football dominates here in the SEC, but what do you think about Dennis Gates and his basketball program, and where that is headed?
I've had some really good conversations with Dennis. I actually have a good friend who was his former athletic director at Cleveland State. That I worked with at Kansas State, and so Scott and I have talked a lot about Coach Gates. Had some really good conversations with him. I think he is a really, really talented coach, and these are challenging jobs, and you get a couple injuries and a couple things that happen the wrong way, particularly in that sport. It can move on you a little bit, but I hear wonderful things about how he operates, his energy, his approach to recruiting, and how he manages his program. So I'm really excited to work with him. I think he's going to be another good one, and we're fortunate for me to be able to step in and have high quality coaches, particularly in those two sports that are ready to go.
Last thing for you, because I know this is a whirlwind of a time. I don't want to take up any more of your time. There's a lot going on here, a lot of moving pieces, and you and your family get to go back to Columbia, where 3 of your children were born, and how emotionally tied you are to Columbia. But I do want to ask you about St. Louis in particular. What is your opinion of St. Louis and its impact on what you were trying to get accomplished?
It is unquestionably the biggest and most important market that we need to connect with. I remember that even from my time as a fundraiser or my time with as being a the general manager at Mizzou. It's the biggest market, and it is right there next door, and in so many ways has the potential to continue to be that home ground for Mizzou. So we got to get there and work it. I certainly recognize it. In fact, that's gonna be my first trip. I'm going to the SEC meetings next week. So this week I'm going to be in Memphis. I'm transitioning out, trying to wrap things up here, starting to get things in my head about what all's going there at Mizzou. And then the following week I'll be at SEC meetings for a few days, and then I'll be in St. Louis the latter part of the week. So we just got to be there and connect. I do know that even from my time before, that it's a place you got to really know people. You got to really connect with and understand their history and how they work together. So I'll be over there a bunch, and we really need that type of support, particularly out of that community, for us to achieve the high aspirations that we have.
Good to hear, and good to catch up with you. Glad to have you on KMOX for your first radio interview. Hope we have many more to come. Thank you very much, Laird.
Me too. Thanks for the time, and MIZ.
ZOU, there he is, Laird Veach, the athletic director of the University of Missouri. It's 11:30. John Mozeliak, the president of baseball operations of the Cardinals, next.
KMOX Weekend at your service. Sponsored by Air Comfort Service Heating, Cooling, and Installation.
Amy Mark Scores here, and I can see clearly thanks to the doctors of Ophthalmology Associates, the doctors you should trust with your eyes. Call 314-966-5000 or yourEyeDoc.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online at hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation to determine the ED medication that's best for you. Discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and a range of treatment options, including trusted generic alternatives to the name brands, at up to 95% off. ED is personal, and at Hims, so is treating it. Just go to hims.com/joy and get connected to a licensed medical provider online for free with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. hims.com/joy.
What's the room again?
1240, down at the end.
Ooh, what's that? Sammy, don't touch that. That's someone's old food.
Here we are. Do you have the key?
You have both of ours.
Oh, right. Not working.
Rub it.
Come on.
Try flipping it over.
Seriously. Why can't we go inside? I'm tired.
Give me yours.
You have mine.
All right.
What?
Please, if you
Dad,
could just...
why aren't you opening the door?
Can everyone just shut the...
Don't go there. Go on a real vacation. Go RVing. Learn more at GoRVing.com.
Do you feel like you're going through life clouded by doubt? Talk to California Psychics. Our trusted and accurate psychics are available 24/7. And we guarantee if it's not life-changing, it's free. Download the app or connect with us at CaliforniaPsychics.com. Right now, new customers get 80% off their first reading. Experience the joy of certainty. California Psychics.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
If you've been hurt on the job, you don't need the biggest law firm. You need the best. Onder Law, voted 2023's best law firm in St. Louis, is the insurance company playing games, trying to deny the medical treatment you need, refusing to pay your lost wages. Let Onder Law fight for the benefits you deserve. Injured on the job? Call Onder Law for free. 314 or 618-9-million. That's 314 or 618-9, all zeros.
I get asked a lot, what's the difference between the efficiency ratings and the numbers that customers hear while they're getting prices? Pretty much the difference is the numbers. As far as actual savings, there is a very easy common sense way to explain the differences in the energy ratings and the types of energy rating on the furnaces, what you can get and what you can't get, and what's best suited for you, what you actually do need or what you absolutely do not need. You'll be surprised and very happy that you called me. So call me, one easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. This is the only number that you need to call. 314-293-2600 or on the website Bart Inman. Now that's Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
As a roofer, spring means the start of my busy season, which means I've got to get organized. With help from Beacon, I can save time with Beacon Pro Plus and 24/7 access to live pricing, delivery tracking, order history, and more. Plus, this spring, I can earn $1,000 and the chance to win a $25,000 backyard renovation just by buying my CertainTeed shingles online with Beacon. No purchase necessary. Now that's what I call a spring cleanup. Visit BECN.com for official rules and to start earning entries.
As an educator, Mr. Nelson's teachings are still being quoted in schools.
Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world.
Mr. Nelson taught hope.
Everyone can rise above their circumstances if they are dedicated and passionate.
And giving our best efforts.
It's always impossible until it's done.
Mr. Nelson Mandela's teachings not only united a nation, they inspire us today. Inspiration. Pass it on from passiton.com.
Welcome back to the Gray Bar Sports on a Sunday morning.
Goldschmidt swings and he hits a drive. He hits a slammer.
Gray Bar, your distributor for electrical and datacom needs.
Billikens win! Billikens win!
Once again, from the Stifel Financial Sports Studio, Tom Ackerman.
As the big Cardinal audience starts rolling in for this pregame at 11:45, we spend the next 5 minutes with the president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak. Always great to visit with you. Thanks for being with us.
Yeah, good morning, Tom.
Great couple of wins for the Cardinals in New York against the Mets. I wanted to ask you a couple of things. Number one, pitching. You went out in the offseason. You said you were going to go acquire pitching, and you certainly did that, and it has come through in a big way in the bullpen first. Let's do that. With Romero, Kittredge backing up Helsley, that is quite the 1-2-3 punch so far, John Mozeliak.
Yeah, I think that the three of them, first off, the acquisition of Kittredge has proven to be very big because the way it's lining up, it gives the manager a lot of flexibilities on how he thinks about the seventh or eighth, depending on right or left. And then, Helsley's just, he just looks a little different to me this year. A lot more confident in his pitches. And so just with the three of them throwing so well, it just lines up really well once we have a lead. So that's a good thing. Obviously, I think getting Middleton back will be a big a plus for us just because it gives us a little bit more flexibility. You have to remind yourself, it's great what we're seeing, but we're only a month into this season, so there's a lot of baseball left. And, bullpens can get tired quick if you're not careful. And so one of the things that's been nice is how our starting pitching has gotten us a little deeper in games, especially when you sort of compare to last year. So, net, the rotation and the bullpen have looked really strong. And, of course, over the course of the year, you're going to see other people contributing. And that's certainly our hope. And, most recently we sent down Zach Thompson and Palante, hopefully stretch them out a little bit to give us a little bit of depth should we need it. They have some things they've got to work on. But, overall feel pretty good about where our pitching is at this point in the season.
Yeah, I would think so, as the Cardinals will send Lance Lynn out there, another one of your acquisitions, to take on the Mets today. And then the other thing I wanted to ask you about was Jordan Walker going to Memphis, and get your thoughts on the move to continue to develop your young outfielder.
Yeah, excuse me. When you look at where he was offensively last year, we thought that he would take another step forward from that standpoint. And, he spent a lot of the offseason really focused on his defense. And I think, our fans and all of us would agree, he definitely has improved from where he was last year from a defensive standpoint. But, unfortunately, when your team's not hitting and here's a young guy trying to make that impact from an offensive standpoint, he was really struggling. And, I don't think it's fair to him to try to have him work through some of these things at this level. It's a really hard league to learn how to hit. You can ask some of the players that have spent many, many years in this game. I think back to Yachty as an example of he was a young player that, because his defensive skills were so good, he always kept getting promoted. And, had he given him a little bit more opportunity to probably hone his offensive skills, he might have been even a more impactful hitter throughout his career at the big league level. And so I think in, Jordan's case, let him catch his breath, let him get that swing to where he feels like he's locked in. And then I assure you we'll see him again.
And then real quick, I understand Dylan Carlson's starting to move around pretty well.
Yeah, so he'll go out Tuesday and begin his rehab. And so if all things go well, we can see him in a week. So, obviously we got to make up at bats as best we can and give him real game experience. But yeah, he's feeling good and he's cleared to go.
Thank you very much for the updates and for making time for us as we get closer to first pitch. We appreciate it always.
All right. Thanks, Tommy.
Great to visit with Cardinals president of baseball operations, John Mozeliak. We're coming up on pregame, a little earlier game today, 12:40 for the Cardinals and the Mets. Thanks very much to Mo. Thank you to Laird Veach for giving us his time. He does his first radio interview here on KMOX, and we can't thank him enough. How about Chris May? He was terrific today as well, the AD at SLU on that note. Chris Blair, the general manager of Worldwide Technology Raceway, joined us to talk extensively about the upcoming NASCAR race, year 3 for the Enjoy Illinois 300 at Worldwide Technology Raceway. And we heard, of course, from Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol. You're going to hear him in the pregame, which is upcoming. And then at 12:40, first pitch, Cardinals and Mets. For our producer, Drew Young, I'm Tom Ackerman. Thanks for joining us. Sports on a Sunday morning on KMOX.
At Sandberg Phoenix, we are more than just a law firm. Our attorneys are committed to you, your business, and your community. From startups